Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
Employees of a food distribution business in Fargo are on strike, saying the company isn't taking enough precautions regarding coronavirus. Valley News Team's Devin Fry joins us live now from North Fargo, where dozens are protesting outside a distribution center that they say could be contributing to the spread of COVID across the region. Devin?
Andrea, we are live outside of Cashwa Distributing Center here in North Fargo, where employees have lined up outside of the building. They're actually lined up along the fence here, and there's protesters on both entrances, picketing what they call lackadaisical COVID restrictions. Now, according to a union spokesperson for the Teamsters Local 120, there have been minimal COVID precautions, including limited social distancing precautions put into place. So that's what the main point of the protest is now. The union also says that they're worried of possibly spreading the illness farther throughout the region. Cashwa Distributing has a presence throughout thousands of restaurants in our region. They're worried about possibly adding to the illness there. They're also looking to possibly get some new contract negotiations on the table, saying that they've been working under their old contract since August. So that's what's going on outside of Cashwa Distributing Center right now. We're going to keep our eye on this here at Valley News Live, but for right now, from North Fargo, Devin Fry, Valley News Live.
All right. Thank you, Devin. Stick with Valley News Live for more on this developing story. Changes are coming soon to several industries in Minnesota. Governor Tim Walz is making an announcement tonight at 6 o'clock. We'll be streaming that live on valleynewslive.com. Here's what we do know. The announcement will affect youth sports, including high school football and volleyball playoffs. It will also affect bars, restaurants, and gyms. Our affiliates in Minneapolis are reporting that gyms will also have to shut down completely, and restaurants will be limited to takeout only for at least the next 4 weeks. The nonprofit association Hospitality Minnesota says this will push many businesses over the cliff, unable to recover. That group and several lawmakers are calling for financial help and more time.
I'm asking that he gives us through Sunday night so we can actually think about this. Groceries are just being delivered, and nobody knew this was coming. So we need a little bit more time, but we will step up. And our industry is team players, and we are a deep part of our conversation with the community, so we'll be there for him.
The Minnesota Licensed Beverage Association is calling the news heartbreaking. Stick with Valley News Live throughout the evening for updates. Several parents voiced concerns this weekend after they say their children were forced to quarantine from school, even though they have already tested positive for COVID-19. Valley News Team's Bailey Hurley dug into the issue and has our story.
It's what's referred to as a 90-day grace period by 6 local school districts, where an already infected student or teacher doesn't have to quarantine if they become exposed to COVID-19 again. For example, if your child tested positive on August 28th for the coronavirus and was then deemed a close contact today, they wouldn't have to quarantine. However, if your child becomes exposed next month or anytime in 2021, they will have to quarantine for 2 weeks. The CDC states while it's still unknown how long a COVID survivor is immune, people appear to become susceptible again after 90 days. And health experts are emphasizing an antibody test is not proof of when someone had COVID. Therefore, they would still need to quarantine if exposed. In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Local health experts urge caution, saying just because it's unlikely that someone may be reinfected within 90 days doesn't mean it's impossible. Perham is joining a growing list of public school systems moving students to distance learning. The district says 3rd through 12th grade students will make the switch on November 30th. The change is expected to last through January 19th. Preschool through 2nd grade students will remain in their current in-person learning structure. With the wind dying down, we've had a pretty nice afternoon. Let's find out what's happening this evening. Hutch?
Beautiful setting sun there at our Home of Economy location in Grand Forks, North Dakota. We've had clouds today, but temperatures, even in the morning, not so bad. Remember yesterday we started out in the single digits in places? Now 20 to 30 degrees was where we started at, and we finished in the 50s. In south central parts of North Dakota in the James River Valley. Very pleasant there, and it hit the 40s today in northern Minnesota. Temperatures are still fair. Get out and enjoy while you can. And as promised yesterday, Andrea, the best part of the day is right now. Mild temperatures and that wind finally giving up a little bit. Here's a look at the clouds streaming through. Look out to the west. We have some rain showers along the Montana border. Those will be making their way into the area by morning, but for this evening, quiet, cloudy, decreasing winds, perfect for a walk or just to get outdoors and take a deep breath of fresh air. All in all, there will be some changes as we go through your Thursday. We have a chance for some rain, sleet, and even a few flakes of snow in some locations. I'll have all the details spelled out in your hour-by-hour forecast, Andrea, just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Hutch. A Mandan police officer was fired today, just days after being accused of setting up a phone in a bathroom and recording a minor. Deputies say 45-year-old Scott Warzika requested the minor take a shower while knowing the cell phone was in the exhaust fan. The minor found the phone and found themselves in 2 videos from October and November. Investigators discovered the fan had been cut to create a window. Warzika had been an officer with the Mandan Police Department for 6 years. He is charged with use of a minor in a sexual performance and 2 counts of surreptitious intrusion. Bemidji police are asking for help finding a missing teenager. They say 16-year-old Courtney Larson left the Arco gas station on her own last night around 11:45. She's about 5'3", 112 pounds with black hair and blue eyes. If you know where she could be, you're urged to call police. North Dakota health experts are reporting 330 new COVID-19 cases in Cass County in a single day. There are more than 1,200 new overall cases in the state, along with 16 new deaths, bringing the total deaths in the state to 785. The positivity rate has also jumped to more than 16%. The full numbers can be found on our VNL News app and on the bottom of your screen. 2 local hospitals say they have hit an all-time high for patients with COVID-19. Sanford and Essentia Health attended a COVID-19 briefing today organized by the city of Fargo. It included pandemic updates from public health officials and hospitals. State epidemiologist Brenton Niesemeyer brought up Thanksgiving and says if you have a social gathering with 10 or more people, there's a 50% chance you'll get the virus.
This year, more than ever, it's important to keep your gatherings small and intimate and consider keeping it just within your own household. We want everyone to enjoy future Thanksgivings and family gatherings with all the ones that you love, friends and family.
Meanwhile, local doctors are pleading with people to help stop the spike in COVID-19 cases. Valley News Team's Lisa Bedeau spoke with the president of Essentia Health about how the surge in infections is affecting them and what they're asking the community to do.
The spike in coronavirus cases has local and state governments imposing new restrictions. And now our local health systems are pleading with people to take the measures needed to slow the spread of COVID. The president of Essentia Health, Dr. William Heegard, joins me now with more on their concerns. Before we jump into what people can do, can you just give us an update as to the current situation at Essentia Health right now, Doctor?
Yeah, happy to do that. At present, I would say that we are maintaining but very busy. The situation is such that I think everywhere we are very tight for beds. We're experiencing high demand for our services and being people needing to be admitted. Today we had approximately about 45 COVID admissions in our West Fargo hospital. That's a pretty big chunk of patients, and there's a number of ICU patients. So everywhere, and I can tell you the state is being very coordinated. We're working with the state. Everybody is, Sanford, Altru. We are all 1 or 2 ICU beds away from being at full capacity. So it's very important that we try to maintain and manage this well, and that we get the public to help out the whole community in the state by being very diligent about the precautions that the state has proposed, as enacted, as well as the governor, and we can talk a little bit more about that.
We have talked a lot about fatigue when it comes to the coronavirus pandemic, and you're asking for people to step up. We're in this together, but there are still people in our community who aren't taking this seriously. What would you tell them?
Well, a couple of things. First, I understand feeling fatigued, but that is still, unfortunately, we're in the middle of this uptick, surge, and what I would say we're on an inflection point, meaning we can start changing the curve or the number of cases over the next couple of weeks if we all abide to these rules. Masking, that covers both the mouth and the nose, social distancing of at least 6 feet, washing our hands, and then not having large social gatherings. And, you know, if you're one that is feeling like you just don't want to follow these rules or don't believe it, the thing I would ask is think about not only yourself, think about your mother, think about your grandmother. I have a 93-year-old father. When you're maybe not following the rules, you're putting at risk all those individuals, also people who are, say, going under cancer treatment or high risk of other reasons, have congestive heart failure. Those people all are put at risk. And so I'm asking you, I might even be pleading with you to take those precautions seriously. And then let's get this thing under control so that we can keep our communities open, our economy open, and let's keep our healthcare providers safe so that we can always take care of you and your loved ones.
With the holidays just around the corner, especially important, I would imagine.
Yeah, you know, this again, I acknowledge that this is a challenging time and everybody wants to be together, including myself. But I can just give you an example. I still work clinically. I work once a week and I work in an emergency department. Last time I worked, I was 50% COVID patients. So I am not going to be around my 93-year-old father, even though I would love to, and I love him greatly, and I think he loves me. And but I don't want to put him at risk, and it wouldn't be appropriate. So all of us have to be super diligent. We want to see everybody, our family, but we're going to have to keep in small little pods or groups that we really know well. In my case, it's going to be 4. I mean, I have a family of literally, we can be hundreds of us. We're not doing it this year because it isn't safe, and I'd be putting people at risk, and they'd be putting my family at risk.
Dr. Heegard, thank you so much for your time today. Very important request, an urgent request when we're talking capacity, so close to capacity at our local hospitals and clinics. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you for letting me talk to you.
Okay, it's important to note doctors don't want you to avoid coming to them if you are sick. They say people still need to manage chronic conditions and should always come in if there's an emergency health condition. Still to come on Valley News Live at 5, why it may be getting easier for first-time buyers to purchase a home.
Temperatures here in the Southern Valley very mild on this Wednesday. We do have a few changes for Thursday. It doesn't look overly cold, but some will see rain, some will see flakes. That's right. Hour by hour details are coming up right after this.